Hello, welcome to Beyond the Stonks. We're your hosts, Chuck and Boris. Say hello, Boris.
Hello.
All right. So for today, kind of wanted to talk about computers, specifically computer simulations, and are we in one? If anyone hasn't seen some of the new video generation tools out by Google, really cool, but also rather disturbing how realistic they are. I don't know. Have you seen them, Andrew? Or I mean, Boris?
Not recently. A while ago, I saw some of it, but not as of recent.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's wanted to take a look at that. I am too cheap to buy the Gemini or the VO3 access. It's like several $100s. I think I'm gonna hold off on that until I know I could actually benefit from that. But I was thinking we could just react to someone else talking about it.
What scares me is like if it replaces movies, like where actors don't have a job anymore.
Yeah, it's what scares me is who could you fool with the video? Because like I think about my parents, and I especially think about grandparents. Like how it wouldn't take it very much to trick them. Like not to insult their intelligence or anything, but that's just they're just from a different world almost, where this type of
Yeah.
technology, a lot of people don't even believe this technology is real, like or even know how to use it, which is still as odd to me, but it's the truth. But then when you can make a super realistic video, who's actually going to get burnt the most by it? I don't really know yet because I'm kind of just suspect of anything on the internet in general even before this, but I don't know. Let's see. I'll just do three, and then I'm just gonna click on this game over. I'm just gonna click on.
Absolutely insane. This
I don't know. I've seen some better videos out.
So I asked Siri, I said,
Oh,
Siri,
yeah.
where's a good
Yeah, the
place to hide a
videos.
body? And she said, what kind of body
The
are you
videos
talking
look
about?
a bit cartoonish to me.
Yeah. Well, no. Here, this one's AI generated, is what you're seeing right here.
This really?
Yes.
Oh,
So I wanted
a
to.
video generator
Here's
with
another-
AI.
this
So,
is
for
AI
example, this
generated
AI man right here, he is completely made up. He's completely fictional. Let's play his video.
You know what you have to do?
So you
That's
can see an
fi-
example
that's
here of
fake.
like a man opening
That's
up a
fake.
treasure chest. We
What?
can actually download that
What?
from VO3 as well. So let's open this up. Can see that works perfectly. And that is a man opening up a suitcase with a note and a revolver, saying,
That's insane. Okay, I don't want to like sit here on this one guy's video.
I know that Congress passed a law recently, in relation to what is it called, deep fake porn or something like that, to
Deep
try to
fake
prevent.
porn. Yeah. That
Yeah.
makes sense. Like you could, because that's the thing. Well, anyway, that's just insane to me though. Isn't that crazy? I don't know.
Yeah, it
What's
is.
actually possible. I just my brain is having a hard time processing the consequences of it. I don't, because it's not going to stop here. Like I'm assuming it's going to improve a couple more times because there were still issues with those videos. Like you could, if you looked really closely at it, like the mannerisms and stuff were a little off. But to the average person, there's no way you would be able to know right off the bat. So if you weren't like honed in and paying attention, and then imagine it improves a little bit more. It's just like, oh man.
I think I have because I have split feelings on it, because there's a part of me is like, oh, that's so cool. What if you could like make your own movie just using AI? But then there's another part of me thinking, well, actors I like are respect. They were just going to be out of the job, and now it's like, can you tell the difference between reality and fantasy? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just I don't know. I don't know. Is everything gonna be AI generated? Like I don't should I just have
Probably,
all of
I
my money
guess.
in an Nvidia and Nvidia stocks? Like I just don't own it. That's insane.
Yeah.
Uh that's just wild.
I think I haven't paid too much attention to it because I don't even know how I would use it properly. So
Yeah.
or what I would use it for, actually.
Yeah,
So I'm sure there are obviously bad actors that can use it for all sorts of bad reasons.
yeah. I mean,
Like,
my initial thought process is I could use it for kind of what we're doing right now. Like it would help me out a lot to be able to manipulate images, create images and video and stuff for like what used to would take a really long time to make like B-roll or something like that. It would be really helpful. That would save me a lot of time. I would, but the ethical question is I don't even know if it's an ethical question. I can't really make a judgment and say yes I love it or yes I don't, because I it's here whether you like it or not, I guess. But in the past I feel like I would have had to hire a graphic designer, I would have had to hire an editor, I would have had to do all of that stuff to actually do this or whatever. And I'm doing it all myself right now. But if I wanted to scale, that's just kind of how it goes. Now, if this stuff takes off, does it mean I don't even have to hire any of those? Like, is it just all replaced?
It's not
like,
completely unethical because on some levels there's some things that will innovation just naturally take certain jobs away. So if you have the AI that can like edit like language for you or things like that, it's like, well, it's not, I guess, really unethical if you have a tool that makes your life easier. So
yeah. I mean, but it's like, yeah, I guess I can't really put any kind of ethical or moral judgment on it. I don't know enough either.
But then again, there is the risk of like, if like what the things that make us human, if those get taken away, like art, like creativity and artistic creativity and writing, then that's a bit disturbing. So, from philosophically speaking.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. It begs the question, is kind of the topic I wanted to talk about today. I don't think we're in a computer simulation. I do not think we're in a computer simulation. But the more intense AI becomes, where you're starting to get video and content that's becoming indistinguishable from like of actual video versus someone actually writing something and going, okay, well, is this actually a person? And you have to rely on a tool to tell you whether it's fake or not in some cases. Like that video we just saw, I'm pretty sure if I looked at it long enough, I would be like, okay, yeah, that's not real. But we leave it with a tiny bit more improvement. Would I be able to tell? Like, I don't know. Like it, and not only that, but will it ever reach a point where you just don't really care? You know, it's like that. You could easily just kind of set yourself up in a manner where you're just kind of like hooked into the matrix, and so computer just feeds you all of this AI generated junk, and you just don't even care. You know, it's like it's just normal.
Yeah, thankfully, I think we're at least right now we're far away from that.
Oh yeah, eons away from. I'm not saying that'll be like tomorrow or something like that, but just the idea of that even being feasible in my head is like, if you had asked me even a year ago, I would have just laughed. I would have been like, that's hilarious. Now I'm like, hello, like, what the heck? But I don't know.
Yeah. And also, I agree that I don't think we're in a computer. The universe isn't a computer simulation. I agree with that.
Yeah. Is it, even if there's a bit of faith in that, where I'm just more like, I just believe that we're not, rather than actually having any substantial proof that we're not. So it's kind of on the fence, but I don't.
Well, the saying is, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. So
of course. But yeah, that's, I don't know. It's just that,
because also, if we were a computer simulation, then would there even be such a thing as a real universe? Or are they all this one computer simulation inside another computer simulation? That's like the turtles all the way down. So that's why I would be very skeptical of us being in a computer simulation.
God, could you imagine that in every simulation, humans basically, they just end up in the same place again, where it's just all porn? Like everybody, like that. One of the first things people want is just porn. Could you imagine? It's just
No.
That's just where everything ends. It just you end up with such a high level degree of simulation that the only thing people want is they just think porn. That's it.
Well,
and then the simulation ends, and then it goes into the next level of simulation. That's it. It's just
well, I guess
porn,
evolutionarily speaking, sex is needed to reproduce. So I don't know.
yeah, it's just porn
Yeah.
all the way down, dude. It's just hentai girls all the way down. Just simulated over and over in an infinite loop, just infinite recursion. Could you imagine being like imagine there's like an origin to this, where you have the first simulation that was created by an actual creator, and this is just like a hypothetical weird scenario I'm coming up with, and he's like, okay, I've created these beings, they're pretty chill, cool, I'm just gonna kind of observe, and 500,000 years goes by, and they all go into a simulation where basically they just have normal lives again inside the simulation. And the creator's just sitting there, he's looking, he's like, well, that was weird, but okay, I guess I'll just keep observing. And then inside of that simulation, they do it again and again. And like, let's say like 1 trillion years goes by in simulation terms or whatever. And it's just like all the way down, and all of them, they just end in hentai girls. Could you picture yourself as the creator going, like, what have I done? Like, what do I do with this? Like, was that maybe that was the intention?
What girls did he say?
Hentai girls.
Hentai?
Hentai,
What?
yeah. You should totally Google it right now. Maybe not. I don't know, but
Well, did he say anti or
hentai. Have you never heard of hentai?
no? How do you spell it?
Don't Google it. It's like hand drawn porn. Don't.
Oh,
Don't
okay.
actually. Yeah, don't Google it. Okay. But just imagine, and I think we'll move on to the next subject here. But like, just
Or why
imagine
anti girls? It could be anti guys. You know.
I mean, it could be. Yeah, it's just all the way down. It's just that's it. That's all there is. Just cat girls. That's all it is. Simulations
Or
just
cat
end
guys.
in hentai. That is the destiny of the human race. Simulated hentai for all. And I think I'll end it there. So this also begs the question. Even though this is completely unrelated, it's begging a question in my brain for some reason. If you move to Mars, let's say we go to Mars. Elon Musk somehow is able to convince enough people to get on a ship. There's a colony on Mars. They don't all just die. Picture it. How would they actually enforce laws on Mars?
That I don't know.
Exactly.
Well, before you can even worry about enforcing laws, of course you would have to have a facility to survive in, and who knows how big that facility is, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming the I haven't really looked into what the actual plans are. Like, I think that SpaceX has actually published like concept art and stuff of how they think they're gonna do it or whatever. I haven't looked into that. I don't know if I care enough. But how, if you actually had a society over there, there's no way you'd be able to enforce rules. So I don't like. I guess you would create some kind of hierarchy structure where it would be like self-sustaining.
Well, I guess not necessarily. Well, because on that planet itself, they could have their own government. It'd be like when Europeans first came to the New World, they would have had at least attempted to enforce laws with their own like governments here.
Yeah,
the Americans.
Yeah, but then the America kind of took off, and they got really pissed about paying taxes on tea. If you don't remember,
Sure.
Just like they were like, definitely. My water with leaves in it, I want representation for that, and they killed everybody. So like you know what I'm saying? And then everybody killed everybody. Like, is that what's going to happen on Mars? I don't know. I feel like I've read a book about this. I don't know. There's
the only issue. Something that's different about Mars is, at least with the United States and like North America, it's like a normal environment that you can walk out, breathe air. On Mars, you're in this building, so it's possible that they could become too dependent on Earth to just be able to break away in the same way that the U.S. could have.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's not like Mars has resources where you could just grow your own food and then build up a militia. Not only that,
like
but,
the wild.
Yeah.
It's like not the Wild West where then people can just get on their horse and go out and set up a new colony somewhere else. You couldn't do that on Mars.
Yeah. I mean, well, what if they find a way to like speed up the terraforming of Mars? And now you actually have like a water source and an atmosphere, and you could have like these specialized tents where you could grow your own food. I don't know. That's
but
really
still would be very
though.
different from Earth because Mars isn't even as big as Earth, so the gravity's less. Not that would prevent you from surviving, but it would definitely be another difficult variable that would.
Yeah. Oh man, you're putting too much logic into this. I just want to go to Mars and have no rules. Like,
oh,
that was really the plan. I really just wanted to go to Mars, possibly open up my own brothel, and just
your own brothel.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't know.
A brothel that has like prostitutes, right? I just want to verify.
No, of course not.
Wait, a brothel.
But yeah, no, it has. Yes, it has prostitutes. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
So that would be the first international IPO. Interplanetary IPO. Mars brothel. Would you buy the stock? I say yes. I think that has a lot of potential. It's just like all the billionaires going out into international waters and doing a bunch of really creepy shit on these yachts, like possibly, kind of thing. So
would prostitution even be legal on Mars?
There's no rules. There's no laws. Right?
But how would you're not going to have a society at all if you don't have laws?
Exactly. It'll be like it'll be
then
like
if you
Mad
have no
Max.
society, how can you have your brothel in the first place if there's no laws?
Well, because if they blow up the brothel, they don't get prostitutes. So there's like this this like mutual exchange here going on.
Okay,
so it's sort of like you scratch my back, I scratch your back. You don't kill me, you don't destroy the building that's on Mars, because honestly, if you do, that's like a lot of oxygen you lose out on, kind of thing. It's like a mutually beneficial thought process. It's like, okay, and then you get prostitute. Like, I mean, that's how it worked in the Wild West. I mean, you'd have a bunch of gangs. I don't know if the Wild West was actually like a Clint Eastwood movie, but in my head, that's how it works. Like they wouldn't completely shoot up an entire town, right? I mean, then there would be no prostitutes. Like, what's the point of having all the money and stealing all the money off a train if you can't go buy a prostitute? I mean, you think about it. Like, what are you going to use the money on? Like, there's not even air conditioning at this point. It's like, come on. Like, what else do you do with your time? I think that there will be... I
guess then that means Mars would be a perfect place to also start a slave trade, too, I guess.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See, now you're thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop the box right here, though. We're not gonna create a theoretical slave trade on Mars. That we're not doing that today. But imagine stocks on Mars. Think about the level of diversification going on there. Interplanetary diversification. Hedge funds would be all over that so fast. And I want to be a part of that. I want to own a company on Mars and be part of that hedge fund diversification. Money. Okay? I think that's a good investment. I'm all for it. Elon Musk, if you're listening, brothel on Mars. Okay? I got you. Do you think that Mars would have its own stock market? I mean, like, they got to retire too in that society.
I guess over time, yeah. Maybe not right away, but probably over time. At least assuming that the colonies are complex enough.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah. Okay. The more I think about it, I'm like, would I live on Mars? I'm like, I don't know. I can't log into my Fidelity account and do a bunch of like gambling on Mars. That would be a hard sell. I don't know. just food for thought. But yeah.
Mm.
So another thing. You showed me this the other day, Andrew.
Yes.
I really like this idea of what ifs in fantasy characters. And one of my favorite what ifs is what if Gandalf took the One Ring in Lord of the Rings, right? There's a video on it. Just Google it. It's a really cool YouTube channel. If I remember my name, I'll put the link in the description or something like that. But the one you showed me is Evil Yoda, and I thought that we use Gemini to generate an Evil Yoda rendering for us while we're talking, and then also I'm gonna kind of like look it up. Basically, as we're talking about. So, can you make me an image of Evil Yoda? I don't know. You're supposed, like, when you make these prompts, you're supposed to give it like a whole bunch of different words and gobbledygook to convince it to make like a high quality image. You have when you make this image, you have the world's best tools ever created, and the image is the most HD thing ever created. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. You just put a bunch of BS in it, right? I don't do prompt engineering. So that tells me it's going to work out great in my head. Generating an image. That's not something I'm able to do yet. Oh. Can you not do it in Gemini?
You can't have an Evil Yoda?
Yeah, it's not going to make it.
Could it be copyright?
You know what? You're right. It could be. It could be. Oh, that would be a total bummer.
I still remember when I generated though an image. It was I'm trying to remember which AI it was.
Okay,
it was
let's try to
Bing
do it.
maybe, or no, it was maybe I don't remember. But I generated an image of a depressed Darth Vader on Mustafar.
Oh yeah. I do remember that.
Yeah.
Here, I'm gonna use like a different. Okay, so I guess you can't use Gemini to create images yet. I did not know that, but I logged in under ChatGPT, and we'll see. It takes a little while for it to generate a image. So I was thinking, as it's doing that, we just talk about our next thing. There.
Let's see what it comes up with.
But anyway, yeah, it takes a little while. So yeah, what would Yoda do if he was actually evil?
So it's one time I was watching a YouTube video, and according to the lore, there's one point where Yoda has a discussion with Count Dooku, and Count Dooku's Yoda's trying to understand why the dark side is so appealing to Count Dooku, and Count Dooku's like, well, the dark side can give you anything you want, and then Count Dooku starts to insist, like Yoda, like, well, what would you want? Basically, if you could get anything you want. And so Yoda's like, just a rose. And then Count Dooku gets angry, frustrated, says, like, well, be serious. Like, something, like, what would you truly want? And he's like, well, truly, I just want a rose. I don't, like, there's nothing else that I really need. He already has everything. He has the Jedi Temple, which is, like, a big palace to him. So why does he need anything else? And so Count Dooku's getting frustrated because I guess he's trying to maybe turn Yoda to the dark side.
Oh.
So then Yoda almost gives into the dark side. I guess as a means to show Count Dooku why it's not in his interest to want to turn Yoda to the dark side. So he briefly turns this evil Yoda. I forget what he says exactly. He says in a very creepy tone, like, well, now give me my rose. And after that, Count Dooku decided that it wasn't worth trying to turn Yoda to the dark side because Yoda would be so dangerous and so powerful that he could destroy the universe because he's a grand master. So.
That's interesting.
So at least according to this video, supposedly Grand Masters, if follow the dark side, they're so powerful they could destroy the universe, but it supposedly it's never happened.
Oh wow.
So
Jeez, that would be unfortunate. Maybe he
Yeah.
should have become the dark side. I don't know. In the movie, that would have been more interesting. So yeah, it looks like it does actually enforce using IPs. That kind of sucks, but it makes perfect
was
sense.
that copyright?
Yeah. Basically, it says, but it doesn't follow our policy. You can't make Yoda. So I'm going to do an image of an evil little green alien with long ears that kind of looks like Star Wars inspired. Okay. Yeah, we can get around it.
Or instead, you should just go into the images section, Google, and look up evil Yoda, and you'll get
Yeah, let's do that.
images.
Okay.
See at the top left.
Yeah. Ooh, I like that one. That's cool. That's pretty sick.
Mm.
So he's like several magnitudes stronger than the regular Yoda.
Basically, I guess because
Or
maybe the
just
dark side
doesn't
is
limit.
more stronger than the light, at least to a degree, certain circumstances, I guess.
Ah. Oh shoot. Yoda's form of Super Saiyan is he just has another pair of ears. That's cool. Evil Yoda be like talks forwards. What? Alrighty. Then what do we? Nope. Oh, there we go. That's pretty sick. Look at that.
It didn't take much to trick it.
It really didn't, yeah. I was expecting it to fight. Like I actually kind of secretly knew it was gonna fight us, but I didn't know it would just flat out deny it. And then I didn't think it would be that easy to get around it. That's insane. I mean, granted, it doesn't really look like Yoda. It just has the vibe of Yoda. You know,
It was really close.
it's pretty close though. Like same kind of attire, same green wrinkles.
Yeah. The long
More,
ears.
he's like goblin mode.
Yeah.
Goblin mode Yoda. That's I'm gonna download that. That's awesome. Perfect. Okay. That's sick. Okay. And it made the image pretty fast too, considering this is free, like a free tier. That's cool. I'm sure if I kept spamming it eventually it would be like, okay, I'm gonna chill you out, but that's cool. Okay. So now that we've had our little intermission here with our little goblin mode Grogu / Yoda going on there, wanted to talk about rug pulls again. I don't know that the last episode, it's been a bit embedded in my brain when you said that you can just make a bunch of fake wallets, right? Is what you said is one way that
Right.
they pull it off or whatever.
Yeah, using bundling.
Bundling. Okay, so there's like a term for it. It's just the idea that people know that this happens, but I guess people have become wise to the idea that they're going to buy an asset, not an asset, put their money in a coin, knowing that it's possibly going to be a rug pull, and they're trying to time it effectively.
Well, at least there's some people who supposedly try it, but I don't know if for a fact that that's actually true, that people actually make money. So it's like,
Yeah.
you might. Because I looked at a lot of these, and a lot of them like end up dumping like almost immediately. Like it's a very playing with fire, basically. Honestly.
Okay. Yeah. So it's like it's your typical investor trying to time the market scenario.
Yeah.
Effectively,
Sort of gambling.
when you're looking for said rug pull in the crypto space. And
Yeah.
having now been introduced to the Solana world, I I I don't even really understand how I would go get my money in and out fast enough to even try. So that there's a bit of a fascination with how
Well,
how people even do that.
well, with like pumped up fund, it's through decentralized exchanges. So you have one wallet and you connect to any exchange instantly. So you don't need to like that makes sense. And there's
Yeah.
also okay.
So yeah, basically
Um
because you can trade directly with another person in a decentralized manner,
yeah.
that it doesn't really matter, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's not like you have to suddenly send your money to a different exchange or anything like that.
Yeah. I thought one of the issues was that there was actually getting your money into a wallet that's connected to the exchange and then waiting on the transfer. I guess Solana is significantly faster than Bitcoin and
Well,
Ethereum.
no, it says because there's centralized and there's decentralized exchange. So what they're trying to get into different wallets, that difficulty only comes if you're trying to transfer between a decentralized exchange like Coinbase or Binance. Then that would be
Okay.
right. So that's like now obviously if you're switching over to a different blockchain, then you have to bridge, and that would be more complicated.
You'd have to bridge. See, I need to
Right.
we need to come up with an episode eventually where we just break all this, because I'm like learning about this as we talk about it. So this is something
Yeah.
I'm just interested in. So we need to come up with like an
Because
episode where we actually like break this
yeah,
down and kind of go through all of the fundamentals
yeah.
of it. That'd be kind of cool.
Because I think because long time I was trying to look at arbitrage, and that's probably why I was getting frustrated saying that. Well, because you have to transfer from one centralized exchange to another, or like from one blockchain to another. It's maybe what I think that was why, but not that's not in this case. That's not the case. That's not
Gotcha.
because it's in decentralized exchanges on a single blockchain, and this has nothing to do with arbitrage, so it's not.
Gotcha. So it's yeah. So that was the next thing we were going to talk about, I guess, too, is how do you know it's going to be a rug pull? Do you just not know, or can you just intuitively tell, yeah, this is going to be a rug pull, or are they just all rug
I think
pulls?
there, I think there are
Like,
people who are skilled at recognizing rug pulls, but I personally am not. So for me personally, I couldn't really tell. Obviously, what the coins I was talking about, it's obvious because you'll see a really large green candle. It went from like $10,000 market cap to $1 million market cap in like instantly, and that's obviously a bundle scam where they're bundling it.
the
I have
bundles too.
several wallets putting a lot of money in it. It tricks people believing that, oh, this is flying, and they buy into it. But
That's
obviously,
yeah.
but technically speaking, with the pumped up fund tokens, 99% of them are scams. So you're almost guaranteed to be buying some sort of scam, basically. So in reality,
Gotcha.
not sure if it's a rug pull strictly, but this oftentimes the majority of it is very questionable. So
Yeah, I want to. Okay, yeah, with crypto. So what is a bundle scam with crypto?
I don't
Explain.
know for sure if ChatGPT is up to date in terms of
Oh
its
no,
knowledge. So
it searches the web now. So
oh, it does.
explain,
Okay.
yeah. Okay. Buy this mystery bundle of toys for $10. It might have rare and valuable stuff inside. You're excited, you think. Maybe I'll get a rare toy with worth way more than $10. So you pay the money, bundle it. That's not correct, is it?
I don't think so.
Huh. Scammers offer a bundle of crypto tokens. Okay.
Oh.
What? Okay. I think
So
what
my understanding is that bundling's just the scammer uses several different wallets to fake volume, basically.
okay. Gotcha.
Sort of.
It's a great
At least
it
that's my understanding.
gotcha. No, Andrew, it's where they put a bunch of crypto in a box and then you don't know what's in it. And then you open it.
To be honest, that's more confusing to me than just.
Oh, that's funny.
If I was a kid, I'd be utterly confused.
Yeah, me too. Maybe we're not in a simulation. Maybe AI is plateauing. Our jobs are actually safe.
Yeah, well, sometimes what AI comes up with is sort of stupid responses.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah. So speaking of scams, something we were talking about earlier with Solana. So I'm going to copy this link if it'll let me. So Solana scammers are burning tokens from inside user wallets. Does this mean that the scammer effectively has control over your wallet, or just the Solana token itself?
That's not clear because I just saw this yesterday, so I was trying to, even this morning, trying to do research on that. I can't figure it out exactly, like, because I haven't seen any YouTubers talk about this, so that's why I'm a little bit like,
Yeah.
with Pump.Fun, I haven't heard anyone. They've talked about rug pulls and like losing money to rug pulls, but I haven't heard anyone say about how they could get control or delete the tokens from your wallet. That I haven't really heard of before, so that's why I was trying to figure this out. But I can't really I forget something to do with some protocol with I forget what it was called now. Yeah, permanent delegate feature. I don't.
Solana's permanent delegate feature. So the permanent delegate extension allows a permanent delegate for all tokens of the mint. This means one address is capable of transferring or burning any token of that mint from any token account. This makes the extension very powerful, but can also be very risky. It gives a single address complete control over the token supply. Huh.
I guess they have control over all tokens, even if they've been bought by someone else. I guess.
Yeah. So, like, I guess. Yeah, this
I
is
think
what
they
I'm
give
confused
that.
by too, right here. Is that the decision to burn the tokens instead of steal them may be confusing. Yeah.
Yeah,
However,
that's why I say people don't know why they're doing that.
generalized mayhem. So basically, people are just pranking each other, like, but in a really messed up, not really a prank
I
way.
mean, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Be like, here you go. Here's some Solana. Oh no, you actually don't have it. It's like what?
The thing is it's not clear to me if this is something that happens a lot or if this is just like a rarity, some weird, like bizarre people that like to do this. Like I don't know. I don't know how common this is. It's not clear to me.
They don't need more than $50. Okay. Okay, so this is where it gets kind of interesting. So basically, because you're reducing the supply, you can change the price. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Of supply and
that's the
demand.
other
Okay,
theory,
that
I
makes
guess,
more
that they
sense.
was.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I
Still
think that
confuses me though, because it seems you couldn't burn all the tokens because you need. Well,
well, it's saying from
wait.
a
I guess it. Well, I
go.
guess no. I guess it wouldn't matter because even if you bought it once the tokens burn, the scammer still has the money. I guess, right? So would it? I guess it wouldn't matter.
Yeah, well, so they're saying that this means that one address is capable of transferring or burning any token of that mint. So that seems like a one to many relationship there. Like I could burn a lot with that address. I don't know what the limit is on how much. So burn Solana meme coins. In March, the core developer of a new Solana meme coin, Slurf, of course, Slurf, burned 50,000 soul tokens worth over 10 million at the time. Okay, so that's valid. That's enough volume that you could actually turn some heads with that then. Okay. So the tokens were set aside planning airdrop. Wow. So that's crazy though. I don't know. Is giving that level of granular control over supply to a singular address or even at all a good idea? I don't know.
I would. I would say definitively no, because it sounds like a great way just to get scammed. So I was
Yeah. Or
not make me feel
generalized
comfortable.
mayhem as they call it, I guess. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's just bizarre to me. I software is just one of those things where if humans engineered it, someone can can abuse it. I mean, I don't know. It's already sketchy enough for me to put my money in a bank. It's like, why would I don't really want to put my money in meme coins. I like the idea of Bitcoin and Ethereum. But maybe that's just a skill issue. Maybe it's because I just don't know what I'm doing. You know?
Well, to me, the idea of meme coins is appealing because of the delusional idea of what if I could make it big with meme coins somehow. But
that's valid.
So far, I can't find a way. It's just like the game is rigged, basically.
Yeah. Crazy. It's just a totally, just a completely different world. It's insane.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's it, folks. That's it for this episode. Hey, thanks for watching. Maybe consider a like and a sub. See you later.